Hi, I'm Venus from Heart's Desire by Venus, and today I'm going to discuss journals. Now, I have this friend of mine who is just starting to make journals and books, and she's always like, oh, you know what? Everything you make is so good, I can never make what you make. And I just wanted to say this video, Maxine, is for you. I made this journal, and I used a masterboard cover. It's got one signature sewn in. And I made the cover first, and then I added my inserts. Now, on the inside here, I did my inserts. Lots of coffee dyed paper, some lace and some trims. I've got some beautiful papers, pockets and flip outs. But now that I have finished this, I do not like my cover. I hate my cover. So today I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix this, because I know you see these videos, they're great books, great covers, and you're like, wow, I could never do that. And they must just, it's amazing. They must just have no problems doing it, just whip it out. No, that's not the case. I'm going to tell you right now. This is not the first time I've come across this, but this is the first time I'm going to admit it. I have actually scrapped some, just thrown them in the corner in my I'll deal with later pile, because I didn't know what to do with them, because I was just so frustrated that the insides don't match the outsides, or the outsides don't match the insides for whatever reason. So I am going to record this journey, and hopefully this turns out well. I have a vision in my head, but sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But I'm going to cover this book, the first part, with this thrift store linen that I found. So this is going to be a several-parter, I'm sure, because, things just never quite go the way you expect them to do. And it's difficult because I've already got this signature sewn in here. And I don't want to take it apart. Well, I'm not going to take it apart because it's all sewn in. So we are going to just try and do this easily. I'm not sure how. So I guess the first thing I'm going to do is try and figure out how I'm going to, I like the edges of this linen, so I'm just going to tear a few more off, and I'm going to try and line this up on my upper edge. I'm going to just tuck this in. I don't want to glue that lace. Make sure I've got enough space. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it all in, and I'm just going to, I think I'm going to do, once I've glued it, is just cut around the edges and let that be a little fray bits. So I'm just going to, I don't know if you can see here, I'm just lining it, taking it off the edge of my book by about 1/4 inch there, and I think that's going to work. So then I want to do the same thing. Well, let's make sure that this book is going to open up. Yeah. So if I open it up, I can have this edge just a little bit here, and I will do that all the way around, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a pencil and just make a mark of where my book is actually going to go, because I want to cut it a little bigger and fray it so that it matches the rest of this. And the thing is I'm not going to be able to sew this in because I've already sewn the signatures in. This is not going to work that well to sew it. So we're going to have to rely on my gluing skills here. Let's just see, did that transfer reasonably enough? So that's the actual outside edge. So I'm going to trim this fabric down about 1/4 inch. And I'm just going to freehand this, because I figure I'm going to fray it. That should cover any boo-boos that I may make, which I'm sure I'm going to make them. It just goes to show, you start off with a vision, and I did when I was making that with the masterboard cover, but it just kind of, the evolution went along, and I couldn't quite make the cover anymore. It doesn't suit it, so Okay. Those away. So now that I've got it a bit bigger, I'm just going to take my edging here, because I don't mind if some of the edge of the original cover shows through. That'll add a little bit to the shabbiness, I think, of this that I'm more going to. But I definitely want the edges to be, and I'm just kind of bringing it down to almost to my pencil line. The corners I will round when I get it on the book, I think. I don't want to chance it now and cut it too short. So I'm just going to pluck all my seams here. Just get these unraveled ever so slightly. A little bit more maybe on this side. All right. Last side here, I think. Yes. And because this is, I cut it a little crooked, it's not fraying all one strip down, so, but that's okay. I don't mind it being a little off. All right, so let's just lay my book out again and make sure that I did this correctly. There's enough space. Up, down, oh, as I hit my head with the camera. Top to bottom. Okay, I think I can do this. So I'm going to do 2 stages here. I'm going to glue and tape, just because I want the glue to really be the main thing that's going to secure this, but the tape also because I want to hold it in place while it's going, and in particular these spines. And yep, I forgot to turn off my notifications. It's probably one of the kids calling me. So I'm just going to run it down the spine, but I will be putting a piece of glue, and I'm just going to bring it in about a 1/2 inch from the edge, because I want the glue to be right up on this edge to make sure that this is not going to peel off. But I do need this to be secure until that glue dries. So that's what we're going to do. And get the other side here. Okay, so let's just burnish in this tape, burnish on this tape, I should say. So it will do its job. A little hard when the book is lumpy, but that's my bad. All right, so I'm just going to remove all the tape, my pokey stick here. I didn't even burnish it down right. Get this one. Get this up. And I think this is important for new people to understand that it looks like, you know, the ones of us who have been doing this for a while, it looks like we just do it and it's effortless. It is not. Behind the scenes, you know, you don't see how much we edit out, or you don't see how many mistakes, or I defy anybody to tell me who's been making these a while that you do not have a pile of rejects that you were just not happy with. You know, you've worked them a few times and you just like can't get over whatever it is that's bugging you about it. And you mean to come back to them, but sometimes we just don't, because they just aren't speaking to you anymore. So I'm using my Fabri-Tac for this. Most of you know, are aware of this. It's a fantastic product. It dries clear. It's semi-flexible. It's a little stinky, but I don't care. But it is fantastic for this kind of purpose. And you do not need to glob it on like toothpaste. As you can see here, I'm just doing little bits and around the edge in particular, because I don't want a whole lot of seepage. I'm just doing bits. around the edges. And if any seeps over, I'm going to wipe it off so it doesn't stick. But then make sure you're covering on the insides here. And not running your sleeve through the glue. All right, I think I've got enough. All right, and it's do or die. I'm going to stick it down. This is my hardest part because, you know what? I am not a very accurate person. And I'm trying to do this without getting my head in the camera zone. Okay. Whew. I think I'm just going to burnish it all into place without trying to disrupt my other stuff. And here's where, you know what? Look at that. I don't even have any extra glue. But when I let this dry, if I find after it's dried that it's moving in spots, I will put some more glue in if I need to. But it looks like I've got it right to the edges and secure. Look at that. All right, let's see now. Okay. That seems to be holding nicely that way. Perfect. I like that a whole lot better already. Now, I've got a piece of cardboard and I want to do some kind of aged thing on this with some paint and that. This is going to take a few steps, I think. But while that's drying, wow, that turned out smoother than I thought. Nice. So let's see, what are we looking at? So far this was just 12 minutes. So I think what I'm going to do though is I'm going to stop here, let that dry, and then when I come back the next time around, we're going to make the front of this. And I'm just going to do a little mini series on how to fix your journals when you're not happy with the covers or you've changed your mind. So once this is dry, I'll come back and I'll do another video. I'll show you how it turned out, and then we will start working on my cover with cardboard. I'm going to peel some layers off. I think do some crackle paint and ink on there, and we'll see how that goes. Anyways, I'm going to end there today, but don't forget to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe, and so you will know what I'm doing when I'm doing it, and you'll know when the next video for this is coming up. And hopefully I'll see you again soon.